Okay, everybody, so this is what we're working with. I'm gonna make this quick and easy for y'all so you can get started right away. Half a red bell pepper, half a yellow bell pepper. If you don't have the colorful ones, go ahead and use the green. I have a jalapeno that I wanted to use up, so I'm adding for a little bit of heat. 4 cloves of garlic, half a red onion, use whatever color you have. And I had some carrots I needed to use up. So I put 1 large to medium carrot, chopped it on an angle, and then made strips. And you can either chop up your garlic or crush it. I'm probably gonna rough chop mine. And so we're gonna saute these vegetables. All right, so next I have a little pan, and normally I would use some olive oil. This is all I got. So I'll put a little splash of that in here. We got to saute these vegetables off. I'm gonna save the garlic for last. We're gonna do these vegetables for about 2 or 3 minutes. And the garlic, if you let the garlic saute that long, it's probably gonna burn. So go ahead and do the vegetables first. You wanna work them down so they can be nice and soft inside your baked ziti. On no hard, crunchy vegetables. And yeah, so you gotta saute these down. I got my pan on high, medium high. Every so often keep stirring until you get it as soft as you want. Okay, so my vegetables been cooking about 4 or 5 minutes. This is how they're looking. Now I'm about to add the garlic. You want to cook the garlic until it's fragrant. About a minute. Okay, next I got my pot of boiling water. Make sure it's in a good roaring ball, rolling ball as they say. I said roaring. Put you a little bit of salt in there. A little bit. Goes a long way, but I put enough because you need to taste the seasoned pasta. Pasta absorbs flavors. I did find me some olive oil, so I'm going to add some of that in here. And a box. I'm using this brand. Use whatever you got. This is a pound box. Then you want to stir it up. Put your timer on for 10 minutes. Occasionally come back and toss it so it doesn't stick together. Just use a spoon, stir it up, okay? So you want to cook it only about 10 minutes because it's going to cook in the oven too. So you don't have to overkill it. So it's just be mush. 9-10 minutes, come and drain it, and we'll continue on. All right, folks, so it's been 10 minutes, and this is what your pasta is looking like. It's still, to me, it's like al dente, definitely. Definitely. It's too hot for me to pick up, but I would show you. It's not soft and mushy. Anybody that know me know I'm always cooking. Just pull these 2 birds. I cook them on a rack so all the juice and everything, oil and stuff could drip from it. So I just made whole chicken. I split it in half, and I've just been marinating for about 3 or 4 days. And it's ready to go. That's going to be good. I'm going to slap some of my Old Faithful on there. And if it would have been a nice day, it's really like overcast today, I'd have went out and put that on the grill, and that would have been a real treat. But I digress. Back to this recipe. So right now we're going to drain the pasta. Drain your pasta and put a little bit of oil on it if you want, some olive oil so it don't stick while you're waiting for the next process. So after you finish sauteing that garlic, I have a pack of sweet Italian sausage. Sometimes I can find a spicy. If I can, I get that. You see, I got this on clearance too. So what you do is take the sausage, you split it with a knife, and you'll open it up and get the meat out. And you'll break the meat up and put it in there. And the reason I do this like this is because the sausage is not going to have that much fat in it. So when you put it in with the vegetables that's already have the olive oil, preferably if you have it, and you have that in there, it will lubricate the meat, keeping it moist and keeping it from drying out. So this is a pound package. I did this way because I want to show you. I already had removed all of the meat, so I could have just tossed it in and started breaking it down. I'm going to turn this down a little bit so I get all of the meat in at once. I mean, all the meat in, and then I'm going to turn it back up and chop this meat up real finely. Let you see one more time what I'm doing. Split the sausage casing open and just taking all the meat out, discarding of the casing. Wash my hands real fast. Please wash your hands as you cook, especially with raw meat. With soap and water, that's not water. I think people before just rinse their hands with water after they handle meat. Let me say that again just in case y'all didn't hear me. I was over there washing my hands with soap and water. Just don't be over there rinsing your hands off so like you can wash your hands off. You must, I turned it all the way back up on high now. You must use soap and some hot or warm water at least to get the bacteria off your hands. Right, folks? So I am trying to break this meat up even further. And remember what I said with the oil that's in here, it's going to keep the meat from drying out and sticking. So that's why I don't add the meat before I do the vegetable part of it. You want to break this meat up as finely as you can get it. That's also breaking down the vegetables more to bite-sized pieces as well. And you want this on high, so you can go ahead and this process done quickly. We're gonna cook this meat until the chicken is gonna turn white. That's the easiest way I can tell you that it's done. It's gonna turn white, or like opaque. You cook it down. It should not be pinkish, tannish color. It should be like a beigey. It's not gonna be white. Y'all know what I mean. It's gonna be beigey color. It's gonna go from a darker color to a lighter. That's how you're gonna know it's done. It normally takes about 6 or 7 minutes on high. Okay, so I skipped ahead a little bit. The meat is all like a tan color. I'm gonna put a little bit of my house seasoning in here. Just search house seasoning recipe. I'm gonna tell you the one I use. Put about a good teaspoon and a half of it. Taste it if you want to see if it's flavored. But I pretty much know how much I like in it. I get mine from a show that used to be on Food Network. I think it was Big Daddy's House. Aaron McCargo, I think his name was. I don't think that man's passed away, does it? Anyway, he made this funky fried chicken. That chicken is delicious. Anytime I'm doing cookout chicken, I always use that as my house seasoning. It's absolutely fabulous on chicken. And just Google funky fried chicken recipe and it's gonna pop up. Make a container of it, so double and triple the amounts to be used. The only thing I wouldn't add extra, I wouldn't even add the amount he says, is the cayenne pepper. I think that's way too much. Season it with the cayenne to your liking. Maybe you don't even want no cayenne, but I normally, he has like a tablespoon per amount to put for each thing, and I put like a good shake, maybe a half a teaspoon or maybe a teaspoon if I want it spicy. But taste it as you go. After you get everything in, put how much cayenne you want. Stir it up real good. Taste it and see if that's spicy enough. If not, add a little bit more until you get it where you want. That's the only thing. And I add a few tablespoons of brown sugar into it as well. Anyway, next, you can make your own sauce if you want. I'm using this. It's a 24-ounce jar. Always put you a little bit of water or something in here to get the excess out. Don't waste. Shake it up real good. And pour that in there. What else? Oh. I have some, I know some of y'all gonna be like, girl, if you don't speak up. Tomato paste. Put you about, I don't know, that's enough for me. Mix that down in there. And I use a tablespoon or so. You can put less of regular sugar. You can use brown sugar to balance that acidity out. Probably gonna add a little bit of Italian seasoning and some black pepper. And I'm gonna let this cook. You can turn it down, put the lid on if you wanted to really let this meat soften up. Turn it down on simmer for like 30 minutes or something, like with a little bit of bubbles coming, and let it simmer for like 30 minutes or so to let everything incorporate and break down together. So I'm putting some black pepper in. I like it spicy, so I'm gonna put about 20 cracks. And no, my thing doesn't come out a whole bunch. So it's not gonna be ridiculous. I need to get some more of this. I got this from Marshall's. I'm almost out. Italian seasoning. It was like a grinder. And now this is the time you want to taste it and see what it tastes like. See if you need anything else in there. Nope. Delicious. Next step. Okay, folks. Now we're on to the next step. Don't laugh at me because I know I recently moved. I really haven't got all the pots and pans that I want. So I'm mixing up my pasta and aluminum pad. Don't laugh at me. Even though I know some of y'all will. Who cares? All right. I put a little bit of my house seasoning. Like a nice little generous sprinkling. I put some Alfredo sauce in there, about half a 16-ounce jar. Salt and black pepper, some parsley, oregano, onion powder, garlic powder, some basil, and some parsley flakes, and a little bit of kosher salt and black pepper. Now I'm going to put in cheese. That's about enough, a handful. You can put more or less. All right, with that, let's put that aside. I took some of the pasta out. I don't think I'm gonna need it all. All right, next I have this bacon pan. You can use your own if you have some. I want to tell you about the cheese before I forget. I used about 3/4 of a pound of mozzarella, about 4 ounces of habanero cheese. I like Cabot's habanero cheese. Use whatever cheese you want, whatever cheese you got. And I had, what is this? The jalapeno pepper jack cheese, 8 ounces. So maybe about 2 pounds of cheese in all. Then I went with the ricotta, and I used about half a container, 32 ounce. I put everything I just said I put in the pasta, I put in here too. And you're just going to stir this to incorporate everything. Now you can taste, once you mixed everything, what I just said, and if not enough flavor for you, be my guest and add some more seasoning. This is to your liking. That's what I always say, to your liking. All right. So with all that being done, let's get started in assembly. All right, we're gonna take our meat mixture. Now we're sitting, stir it up, make sure everything is good. You want to put a layer on the bottom. You're going to use half of the pot. sure you hit them corners. Leave something in the middle. Try to get as evenly distributed as you can. Then you want to take your ricotta and dollop it all throughout the meat sauce. You don't have to use all of it. I am, because I like it. You can put less or you can put more. Sorry if y'all hear all this heavy scraping, but I don't like wasting. Alright, so once you do that, you want to come back and put your pasta over top of it. Now, if I see I need more pasta, guess what? I got some reserve. I would just add that. Make sure you fill up any corners or whatever. Not fill it, you know. Make sure you hit them corners. Don't have spots that doesn't have pasta. That just makes no sense to me. Pounce that down a little bit inside of the y'all heard me when I said I don't like wasting. Then you're going to take some more cheese. And make a even layer. Press that down. You can go with a bigger pan than what I have. That way it can go all down in there. Then you want to come back with your meat sauce and layer it. Spread it out at first just in case you run out. There's some everywhere already. So spread it out. You could also make this with chicken. Like how do they have ground chicken or ground turkey? You don't have to use the sausage, the chicken sausage. I just had chicken sausage, and what I told y'all, use what you got. And yes, I'm using up everything in here. Woo. Bad thing about making this is it's messy. You have to be washing a lot of dishes. But it tastes so good. It's so well worth it. Try to spread that out as evenly as you can. You see right now, I already washed dishes and I'm filled up back with the dishes again. All right. Spread the rest of the cheese evenly over the top. And now you're going to cover this with aluminum foil. And if you can, either spray some cooking spray on aluminum foil so it doesn't stick to the cheese, or not vent it, but like shape it where it's a dome and it won't make contact, because you don't want your cheese sticking to the aluminum foil. You're going to cook this at 350 for 1 hour, and about 10 minutes before it's done, take the foil off and turn it up to like 375 and let it get some color on the top, okay? I'll be back as soon as it's done. All right, folks, so it's been about an hour, and this is what we come up with. And we're gonna let it rest for about a half an hour and then cut into it, because you don't want it all to run out. As soon as you start cutting into it, it'll get messy, liquidy. So let it rest for at least an hour, a half an hour, and see what you're working with. Okay, folks, so it's been about 20-30 minutes. Let's cut into this bad boy. And it's still juicy, so I don't know, I could have waited a little more time. But I'm already cutting, so let's get into it. And see what I mean? We got some juice still at the bottom. So even though I waited, it's still hot.